So we finally have some behind-the-scenes insight to skill-based matchmaking, and honestly, it's kind of expected at this point for them to agree that it is really bad, but let me just dive into this and break this down so you guys understand that how messed up Black Ops 6 skill-based matchmaking is, and just in general over the god knows like how many years. So, first off, a gaming insider, former COD software engineer Charlie Olsen was in an interview with someone from, obviously, Insider Gaming, and basically, he sat down and explained his side of things because he helped create skill-based matchmaking back in 2015 on, I believe it was the China version of Call of Duty, and yeah, it's kind of mental that we're in a situation where we're basically one of the guys that created it is sitting telling you how bad it is. But let's just take a look at this. So he initially wrote the MMR algorithm for China's COD in online 2015, which was obviously that Call of Duty had everything in it. With the algorithm making its way on its first mainline entry with 2016's Infinite Warfare, which, I mean, we all knew it was around about that time when skill-based matchmaking really came into the whole thing and got cranked. Ever since then, it's been in there, blah, blah, blah. But the point that he gets here, right, is so he leaves and then goes on to Raven Software in 2020 and does his own thing. But at that point, you've got to remember, 2019's where it got cranked up massively. So this is roughly just about when he left. So if we take a look at the next thing he said, he basically goes on to explain that he thinks skill-based matchmaking should be in the game because it keeps the longevity of people playing the game. And he thinks that 40% of players or something would quit without it. Now, look, I'm no data expert or nothing, but fuck me. Back in the day when we were playing, like MW2 OG and like COD 4 and World at War, people didn't leave the game and never play if you got pissed on or shit on it. Like, you wanted to be better, so you'd practice more, you'd try harder, you'd try their guns, and you know, you didn't just quit the game. And the thing is, nowadays, it's a different era. People are softer. They don't sit there and actually want to put the grind in. People's attention spans are terrible. So in a way, I kind of get where he's coming from. But the reality is, he also goes on to say this. If you're trying to get better at the game, skill-based matchmaking just rewards you with tougher opponents, and it punishes better players, like, who are good and trying to get good. So, yeah, in a way, it is dog shit, is basically what he's saying, and I agree, and obviously everyone agrees. Skill-based matchmaking feels shit, is shit, because it puts you against people like Sweatfest when you play good one game. And that's not right, how even he says he thinks there needs to be a solution. Now, he goes on to say about there should be like a ranked system where you can see your MMR, but that's basically ranked player, league player, whatever, competitive, and we don't need that in pubs. But he also goes on to say a solution should be to reward the players with more XP when they play better at the game, when they're playing higher level. And in a way, yes, I kind of agree with that, but I think, like, when you think of gaming in general, right, you have the competitive side. That's where people should be playing against the best or getting harder games. I think public matches always benefited when it's just everyone playing against anybody. Because, yes, I understand the lower players are going to be struggling, and I've been there. Years and years ago, I was that guy. Like, I could go 5-30, and I'd be angry, but I'd be like, bro, this guy's insane. I'm copying his class. I'm going to start playing like him. I'm camping. I'm rushing, running, whatever. And players don't think like that no more. That's the reality of it. They don't think like that because they don't want to put the grind in to be better, and they just think, I'm just going to quit and bullshit, whatever. But the thing is, you shouldn't have to file a report thing with Activision to get your MMR thing to see what rank you're playing at or what rating. It shouldn't be a thing. There shouldn't be a hidden MMR thing, personally. And I think a lot of people are going to agree with that as well, but it just seems kind of dumb that we have to do that to figure out where we're playing at. We all know that it punishes you for playing well because, as we've covered in previous videos, not only skill-based matchmaking now, but the live variables with skill-based damage and stuff also does it, which is just stupid. But let's think about the whole concept, right, of when this first got cranked up in 2019, what the biggest change was at first. The one that everyone seems to go to was obviously you couldn't just hop on and play for fun because after 1 or 2 games, you were literally having to sweat just to get 5 kills on the board. And obviously before that, that wasn't the situation. And don't get me wrong, you could get lobbies that were hard, but it wasn't consistent. Now it is consistent where you are either in a sweat lobby, or if you play bad, then you'll get an easy lobby. And that gets me to my next point. Olsen does go on to say you don't actually have to sweat every game because if you play poor for a while, your MMR drops and the lobbies will get easier. So if you're trying to do camos and gun challenges and stuff, just play bad for half an hour and you'll get in a fucking easy lobby and that's that. Which again just sounds kind of dumb to me. I just don't understand why there's so many variables in games in general now. I mean, personally, I think that they think that half the player base would quit without skill-based matchmaking. I think that's a lot of horseshit. I don't think that's something that, personally, even would be reality. I think you might lose 20%. And them 20% are the ones that literally barely play the game and they jump on and they get shit on, like, I'm going off again for another 10 months. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think the players who enjoy the game, Call of Duty itself, in its peak and in its core, would just quit and leave and never come back and play again. Like, I don't see that at all. So, yeah, I don't know. Could be wrong. But, Olsen also goes on to explain, how it works for dummies, basically, and says about the MMRs, the number of, matchmaker and team balance users, and how it works is it takes into consideration the ratings of everyone in the match and updates your rating based on your relative performance in COD. Now, the thing is, again, you've got to remember, this being one thing, okay, it's tough. You all remember it used to be tough. Now, here's my theory. Skill-based matchmaking's been tough for a good while, right? But it's only been the last few years where they've pumped in all this, variable bullshit, skill-based damage, aim assist, all this stuff. That's why it probably feels 10 times worse in these modern games than it did, say, 10 years ago, nearly. Because IW, World War II, Black Ops 4 felt fine. They felt a little bit tough sometimes with the skill-based matchmaking, but it was very rare where you get where you are today. And again, this is coming from the horse's mouth where, the guy's telling you who wrote it that this thing's real and, how it works and it does punish good players. So those that still want to defend skill-based matchmaking and say that it's it doesn't punish people or blah, blah, blah. You just need to get your head out your ass. You just know what the crack is now. It's been proven. We've always covered this. And, yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments. Do you think skill-based matchmaking should be in COD? Do you think it should be like the MMR situation? Do you think that it should be hidden? Do you think we should have a skill rate invisible in the game so you can see it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm going to wrap it up here, but thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one.